And we are recording.
Okay, guys, welcome. This is the free Zoom. What is easy for you that would make you money? My name is Amy Shine, and I am an access consciousness facilitator. And for some of you, you are very well known in the access consciousness tools. Some of you may be new. This may be your first time finding this video or listening to these conversations. I will be using the access consciousness clearing statement. If you want to know more about the clearing statement, you can go to www.theclearingstatement.com. The clearing statement is a quick and easy, like energetic sweep that just sweeps all the unconsciousness that you're stuck in out of existence so that you can actually get clear and make a different choice. And money is one of the topics and one of the areas that is probably one of the most unconscious topics on the planet. It's one of the topics that we create the most unconsciousness with. It's one of the areas we lie to ourselves the most. With money, it's one of the areas we either reject or we create the most amount of need. So this is going to be an introduction to maybe undoing some of those points of views and also an exploration. If you have a pen and paper, grab a pen and paper. We will do some clearings first to get us started, and then we will do some exploration into what is easy for you that could make you money. So this topic is something that Gary Douglas has talked about in classes. Gary Douglas is the founder of Access Consciousness. And he has talked about how what's easy for you is actually the thing that makes you the most money. And usually it's the thing that you value the least. So the things that are so easy for us, we take for granted. We just kind of think, oh, well, it's easy for me, so everybody can do it. And that is actually not the case. So everything that you have decided is not ease for you, can you just try and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, on shirts, boys, vians. And everything you've decided is ease for you, can we just try and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, on shirts, boys, vians. So how many things have you decided you can't make money with? Everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, only shorts, boys and meons. So how many of you were told growing up that you had to work hard for money? A lot of you? Yeah. So all the points of views, all the decisions, all the judgments, all the conclusions, all the expectations, everything that was projected at you and onto you that you had to work hard for money, and money only came to you if you had to work really hard for it, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, only shirts, boys and meons. So if you take a look back at your childhood and look at, okay, what was easy for you as a child? What came easy to you? That actually may not have been that easy for other people. And everything you decided about that, and everything you concluded about that, will you now destroy and create it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, only shorts, boys and meons. Yeah, so tested, money doesn't grow on trees. Interesting point of view, right? How many of you were told money doesn't grow on trees? Yet money comes from paper. And paper comes from trees. So we have a phrase in Access. It's called, it's everything is the opposite of what appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what appears to be. Everything is the opposite of what appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what appears to be. Everything is the opposite of what appears to be. Whew, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. So what if everything that you have been told about money is a lie? Wow, everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, only shirts, boys, me hands. Your family said, we're not made of money. Everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, only shirts, boys, me hands. Is that really true? If you knew that you were, is it true that you're not made of money, or is that a lie? So what's true for you is lighter, and what's a lie is heavier. So if I pretend to be your mother for a second and I say, we're not made of money, does that feel light or heavy? Heavy, right? So if you knew you're an infinite being, and an infinite being is all energies, and if you knew that money is just energy, then you actually are money. So you are made of money, because you be money, you be energy, you are energy. Wow, so everything that doesn't allow you to know that you are money and that you be money, like you are energy, like money is, you breathe, money is energy. So right now, take a breath, breathe, inhale, exhale. So what if money was like that? If money is energy, could you breathe in money? Allow it in. Could you exhale, flow it out? Breathe in money. I am money. Exhale, flow it out. And then that's that gifting and receiving. There is no lack. You are energy. You are money. So all the points of views that you bought from your family, from culture, from society, from teachers about the lies of money and what was not possible with money, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on his shirts, boys and me aunts. And so Christina said the point of view about money was you have to work to have money, right? And that is probably one of the heaviest points of views that have been projected on us, that you've got to work hard for it. You've got to do something for it. And today's call is, what is ease for you that could make you money? So that is the opposite of working hard for it. So if you didn't, and that's one of the reasons why we dismiss making money from what's ease for us, because we have bought the point of view that we got to work hard. So if we're not working hard, would we actually allow ourselves to be paid for it? Wow. So everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on a shorts, boys and meons. So if something is really easy for you, doesn't require effort, doesn't require you to work hard, is fun for you, and is joyful, are you allowed to receive money for that? Oh, everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, only shirts, boys and meons. Okay. Questions? Anyone have a question? Unmute yourself. Yeah, Carol, do you have a question?
Oh, okay.
Do you have a question, Carol? No?
I have a
Oh,
question.
yes,
I could ask.
please.
Yeah, hi. So my question is, if you make the most money with things that is so easy for you, so you can't really kind of recognize or acknowledge it, then how do you get to know those things? That makes sense.
Well, that's what
So
we're
if
going to
it's
look.
okay.
That's what we're going to look at here now. Yes. Yeah. So has anyone ever really even asked you what's ease for you? Have you ever even explored it in your own life and asked, okay, what is easy for me? So we're gonna take a pen and paper, right? And if you have a journal, use a journal. And write at the top of the page, what is easy for me? Just what's easy for you. Don't even think about money right now. Just look at, okay, what is easy for me in life, in daily living? What is easy for me? What are the things that when I do them, they're just total ease? And it could be cooking, cleaning the house, gardening, massaging, talking to people, like whatever it is. So take a couple of minutes right now and write out whatever comes up. As crazy as it sounds, what is easy for you?
Can I ask a question about this? What is easy?
Yeah.
What is easy as in simple, or what is easy as in we have ease being and doing it?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, all of it. All of it. The thing, I mean, you can do what's simple for you, but also like it's not like so much what's easy, it's more like what's ease. Like ease, you can do it. It's if you do it with so much like flow and grace, and it doesn't take a lot of effort, it just comes naturally to you. Does that help? Oh, and maybe before you do this exercise, expand out. So expand out 100, expand out beyond the building you're in. Expand out beyond, like, get out. If you're in anyone's head right now, get out of anybody else's head that's on this call, or anyone else's head that's around you and your family. And then expand out across the town you're in, the city, the country. Expand out 100,000 miles in all directions. Okay, now ask, what's easy for you? And write it out, see what comes up. Okay, Ala said I couldn't find something easy. So everything that everything you've decided easy is that it isn't, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, only shirts, boys me hands. And everything you've decided easy isn't that it is, can we destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, only shorts, boys me hands. And it's, I think you're getting caught up between the words. What if you just ask, like, what are the things that you find, like, that when you do them, they're joyful. Like they don't take a lot of effort. It doesn't take a lot of work. Like it may be talking. It might be you like gardening. It might be And even what are the things that people say to you? Oh, you're really good at that. And you're like, what? Can't everyone do that? And maybe when other people start, maybe some of us, anyone wants to come on here and share what come up for them or came up what they wrote down, it might also spark something in your world too.
Can I share mine, Amy?
Yeah, please.
Like one thing that I do easily that I didn't acknowledge before, I just acknowledged when people came to me and they asked like, "Oh, do you know that you like do this and be this?" And it was like to be joyful, you know, like to bring life to stuff and people. So I didn't even know it because it was so natural for me, and right now I'm like acknowledging more of it, you know. And my question would be like, how can I make money out of it? You know?
That is brilliant. That is a great example. Like that is something where you do, Enzo. Like everyone who knows you knows that like you're like Enzo, joyful, smiling all the time. And when you jump on a call, you like just brighten the whole call up because you're just being you. But that's something that's so brilliant, because that's a brilliant example of that's just something you be that you don't necessarily see, or you're just like, oh, that's just who I am. But how can you get paid for that? And that's where you just start acknowledging, okay, it's actually very easy for me to be joyful, to smile, to be happy, to have a lightness to me. And it's actually something that other people don't always have. How can I make money from that? How can this talent, this ability make me money? And it may be people then start asking Enzo, because he's acknowledging something that's great about him and he's asking to get paid for it. Now maybe people start showing up and asking, hey Enzo, can I pay you to be on my team? And it may not be about him doing anything. It may be just him being him and he gets paid for it. Or he's heard his own creations start growing, people start showing up for his classes or whatever it is, his events, because he's acknowledging, this is something that I be. Now how can I get paid for it? What would it take to get paid for it? And that's where you've got to start acknowledging what you're great at. And then when you start acknowledging what you're great at, then the universe can start paying you and people will start paying you. Does anyone else have anything else on their list that they surprised them, that they were like, oh, I didn't even realize that's something that is easy for me?
I actually have a challenge with making these kinds of lists. I've done this exercise like several times, and it's always, right now I have so much resistance, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I'm not gonna do this again. I know I can come up with several things, and it's like, okay, yeah. And then I'm just asking, I got lost in my sentence now. But there's this, okay, there are things that are easy for me, and at the same time, these things are sometimes not easy for me. And then there's this undiscovered capacity that I have no idea how to like find that out what it is and form it and be like, okay, this is easy for me. And then there's these capacities that are easy, or things that are easy for me, and I sort of don't like them, not necessarily judge them, but don't really like them. Like, for example, being the grumpy one.
Yeah, but just because it's easy for you doesn't mean you have to choose it. So like with, like, say the next part of this is like, okay, what's easy for you, right? And you get like, okay, like Tess said here, not working, being a mother, dancing. And if some of you want to write your answers in the chat section, that would be cool too. So we all get a sense of what's on each other's list, just because it may inspire each other. So she has dancing, being in nature, drumming, gong playing, lots of things that bring her joy that are actually easy for her, right? So that's a great one, right? So then the next step of that would be, okay, these are easy for me. Now, out of these things, how many of these would I actually like to be paid for? So just because it's easy for you doesn't necessarily mean you have to turn it into a revenue stream or go out and create. Like, she might be like, Tess might look at that and be like, okay, I would like to be paid to be I would like to be paid for being in nature. She might like, I don't really want to turn drumming into a business. That's more something that's just fun for me, right? Now you can ask to be paid for everything. It doesn't have to be a business. When you walk out in nature, you can ask, hey, what would it take to get paid for walking in the grass today? When you are taking care of your kids, what would it take to get paid for taking care of my kids today? And then, but there may be some of these in your list where you go, okay, how many of these can I turn into a revenue stream? Can I actually create maybe a business with? So, like dancing, do I want to create some movement classes? Like Tess has dancing and gong drumming. Is that something she may want to turn into a workshop? Would she like to get paid for hosting workshops where she facilitates movement and drumming? Christina, talking about real deep stuff. Okay, would you like to create a podcast? Would you like to create some online calls and charge people for the conversations that you love to talk about? So this is where not necessarily every single thing in your list, it doesn't have to be a business that you create, but you can start getting clear, okay, how many of these things would I like to turn into a revenue stream? And you can still ask to be paid for everything, but to turn into a revenue stream is really getting creative with it. Kelly Marie, dancing, communication, connectivity, art making, creativity, communication, listening to every detail of a piece of music. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so it's like, do you want to turn, your capacities with music and make a YouTube channel, turn it into like a blog post? Like, there's so many different ways of getting paid, especially now online these days. You can get paid to be a blogger. Maybe you get paid to be a writer for someone, or to actually like a lot of you have really creative stuff, decorating, garden, landscaping. Is that something you would like to be paid for? Ina has typing. I mean, there's a lot of jobs you can get paid for typing. Talking to people. Okay, that means you're a connector. Is there somewhere you could get paid for being a connector? Lots of access facilitators are looking for connectors for their business. If you like talking to people, you're a connector. That can be a source of income. That can be a revenue stream. Ina also has, my hugs are nurturing and energizing. That sounds like you're a body worker, So this is where you start acknowledging your capacities. What is ease for you so what is easy for you are the things that you take for granted, that you think everybody else can do it, but they can't. And they're the things that will make you the most money. Wow. So everything that doesn't allow you to claim, own, and acknowledge that, can we just try and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all night shorts, boys, me ends.
Amy, can I add something?
Yeah.
I saw that Zoe posted
Who's
in
talking?
the chat.
Barbara. Sorry.
Okay.
Right next to me.
I saw that Zoe posted in the chat as well that sex is easy for her and it brings her ease. Could you explore a little bit more about receiving money, not through sex, but you got me.
Well, I mean, yeah. Can you ask to be paid for that?
Yeah.
Oh, everything that doesn't allow you to ask to be paid. Can we destroy and uncreate it?
Yeah.
Right, wrong, good, bad, papak, on his shirts, boys, me hands. And so what's the energy underneath that, So like, okay, what is it about sex that is easy? What is the energy underneath that that's easy for you? And with all these things, whether it's walking on the earth, talking to people, cooking, you know, dancing, what is it about the energy of that that's easy for you? And can you take that energy then and turn it into a revenue stream? And what happens when you turn it into a revenue stream? Do you make that significant? Do you make it heavy? Do you make it a job then? Have you decided that, you know, getting paid has to come through a job, which is hard work, and doing what you love and is fun can't be paid for? You can't get paid for that. Everything that is, can we destroy and uncreate it? All right, round good, bad, pop, pop, only shirts, boys, me hands. Well, because if you enjoy sex, do you enjoy bodies? If you enjoy bodies, how many capacities do you have with bodies? Can you offer body sessions? Can you offer access body processes? Can you get paid for that? Any other questions? So Evelyn says talking. Okay, talking's coming up a lot for people. That's a connector. If you like talking to people, you're a connector. And that's a great one, because people think, oh, well, talking to people, like that's nothing, like everybody can talk to people. No, a lot of people don't actually like people. They don't like talking to people. Some people do not like engaging with people. Some people are better at like maybe creating or coming up with ideas. Some people are better at maybe a technology, and some people are great at being out in the world, engaging, talking to people, and connecting people to other people. And that is a capacity that you can get paid for. And then that is another, usually that's a place where people go, oh, but everyone can do that. Why would I be paid for it? And this is where I talk about what is easy for you is usually the thing that you take for granted, that you think everyone can do, but they can't. And that's the thing that can make you the most money. Everything that is, can we just try and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, on shirts, boys and meons. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Being with kids, magic, connection to creation. Yes. Writing, talking, teaching, writing. Writing's coming up for a lot of people. I would Google like all the different ways you can get paid for writing. Like there's people who like pay ghostwriters to write books for them, you know, or write articles. You would have lots of different businesses that pay writers to come in and turn videos into blogs, transcribing. Like there's so many ways to get paid for writing. Okay, we got energies, cooking, yeah, nature, animals. How can I get paid to work with animals? Making natural creams. Would it be fun to sell my cream? Actually, you know, natural creams, making your own natural creams. I don't know what country you're in, Tal, but here we have, what's that site you sell all your stuff on, but it has to be handmade by you? Etsy. We have Etsy here, and you can sell, if you make anything that's yours and it's made by you, you can go to Etsy and sell it. So this is where online can really work to your advantage. Diana, cooking, organizing. Who wants to pay me to organize their life? Touching others' bodies, massage. Yeah. How much money can you get paid being a body worker? Carol, being grateful. Being grateful will always make you money. Making decisions. That means that might be also you're a mover. So anyone who like, because if you're a mover, you're someone who like, because lots of people might have ideas, but then some people don't have the energy to actually put that idea out in the world and get it moving. So that is a capacity. If you have a capacity to take ideas and actually bring them into existence, you're a mover. You get shit done. Again, that's not something everyone can do. Being connected to nature. How much money can we get paid to be with nature? You know, like I did a 14 days of movement with the earth series, and because I love dancing with the earth, and I invited people to come along, and it was a paid event. You know, what can you create out in nature? Having fun with my daughter, my pets, my boyfriend, learning. Gala, I like talking, but not to people. Actually, not to anyone, just talk. Cooking and helping others realize what they want. Amazing. Yeah. So yeah, look at your list and you can keep adding it to it, because other things may pop up, stuff that you might not have acknowledged before. And pay attention to those places where people say, oh, you're really good at that. And you go to dismiss it. Like you kind of go, oh, that's nothing. You know, someone said something to me yesterday and I was like, she said, you know, like I had created an event and she had said like, oh, the way you did that was like incredible, the way everyone signed up and paid and it was all so ease. And I was like, oh, like I just take that for granted. Doesn't everyone do that? And she was like, no, Amy, everyone doesn't do that. So here, these are the places where you kind of go, oh, like I think everyone can do that, and really they can't. We're all so different and so unique, and we have our own capacities that don't look like anyone else. So would you be willing to get paid for what you're great at, for what's easy for you, and for what's fun for you? And you get to choose in every 10 seconds. If it's fun and it makes you money, choose it. If it stops being fun, Gala, you don't have to choose it anymore. You can choose something else. And how many projects, how many revenue streams would you like going, like being created at one time? Where have you decided you just need one revenue stream, you need one business, you need one job? How many things could you add to your life that could make you money? That would be fun. So everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, receive, all of that, can we destroy and create it? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, only shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, my suggestion would be keep your, like if you have a journal, get it. If you don't have a journal, get a journal. If you do have a journal, keep this list and keep adding it to it. Keep asking more questions. What is easy for me? Universe, show me. Body, show me what's easy for you. Body, show me what's fun for you. And keep adding to it, and then go back into the list and ask, okay, out of these things, how many of these would I like to be paid for? And then when you get a couple, ask, okay, what can I create with this? How can I actualize this in the world and me getting paid for this? And maybe you just take 2 or 3 things, and maybe you have a couple of ideas and you start actually instituting them in the world, actualizing it. Maybe it's you create a workshop, maybe it's you do some research on Google. Like you're going to have to take some action, you know. So the universe is like, you're like, okay, what am I great at? You get the energy, you get some downloads, then you ask, what would I like to be paid for out of these? You get a couple of more ideas, and then it's up to you to go, okay, which of these do I actually want to take action with? Because if you just sit around, nothing really changes. But if you take action, you go, okay, maybe I want to create a workshop with this, or maybe I want to, you know, put it like offer to some people that I know that I'm offering my skills in writing, or maybe I want to look online and see different ways I can advertise myself. Like you got to put yourself out in the world too, and let people know I'm good at this. Who's looking for a connector? Let people know I'm great at writing. Who's looking for a writer? And then that's when the universe starts to like come in and contribute to you, because you are actually taking the lead. You're the leader of your life. You're the leader of your financial reality. You've got to be willing to take the action, and then all the molecules start rearranging, and the universe is like, here you go. here's someone who'll pay you for that, or here's the way you can get paid for that. But you have to take some action. So everything that brought up, can we just try and create it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, puck, only shirts, boys, hands. Everything you've decided putting yourself out there in the world is, and everything you've decided taking action is, and all the work you've created around that, can we just try and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, only shirts, boys, hands. Gala, what if what's fun and easy for you is not something you're good at? Give me more information around that, Gala. Can you tell us what that is?
Yeah. For example, I really like juggling, and it's fun and it's easy, but I'm just a beginner and I'm not at all good at it.
Yeah, I get that. Like, it's like if you're like, oh, I love singing, but like you're a terrible singer.
Singing is also an example, or acting, or writing, or stuff like that. There's like, it's easy, it's fun, I love doing it, but I'm not yet good at it.
Yeah, I get it. And so, but it's like, it's also not like, nothing is linear. So could you get paid money to be a terrible singer? Yeah. You know, I mean, you could be a hit on YouTube of the worst singer in the world and get paid for it. You know, your YouTube videos get enough hits. Or, you know, like, okay, how can I, if you really do want to be like, I would love to get paid to juggle, well, maybe it's you know, you find out who's like one of the best jugglers in your country and reach out to them and see, can you host them for a workshop? Like you just get creative, you know. But if it's not everything's going to be a revenue stream for you. Like you got to look at what's like, what's fun, what's ease, and also what's pragmatic. I'm a big believer in pragmatics. And, you know, when I want to learn something and know more about something, I look at who's doing it that's really good at it, and how can I engage with them. You know, like when I first started doing Access, I wanted to do all these classes, and so I brought all these facilitators to Ireland, and I discovered in that I was actually really great at creating events. I was really great at finding venues. I was really great at inviting people to events. I loved organizing. And so that was a way for me to become, to get more consciousness, get more awareness, for me to get all these classes, receive all these classes. And also I was contributing back in bringing people to these facilitators classes, in getting venues. So it was like things that I was good at. And also I got to grow and learn more and expand my awareness and my consciousness. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. I, however, am still asking what else is possible with this, because it's just that's your capacity that you have, bringing the people and learning from them and then sharing that. Because I have a similar example. Yes, there are all these people that I could learn from, but I find myself in this loop of, okay, so there's this person I could learn from. How can I get
Well,
to them?
That's where you ask a question. So you've already gone to conclusion that you don't do what I do, so you can't create anything with that. And that's your conclusion, and then that's what you create. Your point of view creates your reality. You're not looking at, okay, what's right about me that I'm not getting? What's the gift in me that I'm not getting? What am I great at? And what if you actually reached out to someone and asked, hey, look, I would really like to work with you, or I would like to, you know, like learn more from you. What could I do for you in exchange, you know? And ask people questions rather than come to conclusion.
Yeah, I've tried that, and I've gotten an offer that I can offer something, and then I was like, okay, what is it that I can offer? And I came up with nothing, and then the opportunity just passed. So how do I find it?
But you're looking for the how, and you're not asking any questions. You just like,
what can I offer?
What's great about me that I'm not getting?
Okay.
It's a different question. What's right about me that I'm not getting? You can also reach out to someone and be like, hey, I would love to work with you. What's possible here? And ask someone, is there anything you're looking for in your business? You know? Ask people questions. Let people know you're interested in working with them. Ask what they're looking for and then see, can I do that? And be willing to try anything and be willing to fail. Who cares? You choose again, you know? What was it? What was his name? Not Bill Gates, the other guy, Steve Jobs, said, you know, like if he was offered a job and he didn't know how to do it, he would take the job and then he would say yes to the job and then learn how to do it within the first few weeks. You know, like I did that. I moved to America and like I didn't even know what a martini was. And I definitely didn't know anything about Asian food. And I got a job in this sushi restaurant, high-end sushi place that sells sake and all this fancy sushi that I knew nothing about. I didn't even know what a margarita, like I didn't know anything about anything. I had waitress before, but in much more simple place in Ireland. And I just told them, like, I just acted like I knew what I was doing and then got into the job and learned what I had to learn very quickly. You be creative, you know? And if it fails, it fails, you choose again. What if you never quit, never give in, never give up? Someone says no to you, go on to the next person. How do you create your reality is by being persistent and be willing to ask. Be willing to ask people. Diana wrote, sometimes someone made a lot of money selling pet rocks. Yeah, people make money selling the most random stuff. So, all right, guys, we're nearly at the time. I know Ildiko's Zoom ends in like 5 minutes or so. So is there any other questions before we wrap it up? This was fun. So have a look at your list, like add to it. You know, you don't have to have all your answers right now. It might actually be easier for you to look at this later on tonight when you're not on this call. Some of you like are really, you know, psychic. So you're like in other people's heads. So when you have a bit of space later tonight, light a candle before you go to bed, you know, just ask, okay, what am I great at? And start asking to be shown it in the next few days, in the next week. And then also from that, look at, okay, just pick one or two things. Don't try to do it all right away. Pick one or two things from your list and ask, okay, would I like to turn this into a revenue stream? And then take an action. Reach out to someone, put your name, you know, contact people, like put yourself out there. Be willing to put yourself out there, be willing to be vulnerable and, you know, lower your walls and barriers and let people know what you're great at and see what happens. Maybe you'll actually start making money doing things that are fun and ease. And the more that you acknowledge what you're great at, the more you can get paid for it. You've got to start acknowledging you and what you're great at first. And what if it isn't even about doing? Like Enzo, his original question at the start, which was great. People want to be around him just for who he is, for his smile, for his joy. And so would you be willing, first off, just to get paid for being you? And from there, then, what else can you add? Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I will send out the replay. And yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for the translators. Thanks, Enzo. Thanks, Jeanette.
Thank you so much.
Who else is translating? I've lost it. Oh, thanks, Ildiko. Thanks, Fatma.
Thank you, Amy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're going to stop
Thank you.
recording, Barbara.